The Milwaukee Bucks are an American professional basketball team based in Milwaukee. The Bucks compete in the National Basketball Association as a member of the league's Eastern Conference Central Division. The team is managed by John Horst, the team's former director of basketball operations, who took over from John Hammond in May of 2017. What do you know about the Bucks? We were wondering what we could find out about this team. The following are facts about the team you may not even known about. Enjoy the video we've made for you. These are the facts about the Milwaukee Bucks you never knew about. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. A brief history of the Milwaukee Bucks. The team was founded in 1968 as an expansion team and played at the Fiserv Forum. Former U.S. Senator Herb Kohl was the longtime owner of the team, but on April 16, 2014, a group led by billionaire hedge fund managers Wes Edens and Mark Lasry agreed to purchase a majority interest in the team from Kohl, a sale which was approved by the owners of the NBA and its board of governors 1 month later on May 16th. The Bucks have won one league title in 1971, 3 conference titles, the Western in 71, 74, and the Eastern in 2021, and 16 division titles from 71 to 74, 76, 80 to 86, 2001, 2019, and 2021. They have featured such notable players as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Sidney Moncrief, Oscar Robertson, Bob Lanier, Ray Allen, Chris Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, among others. Abdul-Jabbar and Antetokounmpo have been named the NBA's most valuable player while playing for the Bucks for a total of 5 MVP awards. On January 22, 1968, the NBA awarded a franchise to Milwaukee Professional Sports and Services Inc., Milwaukee Pro, a group headed by Wesley Pavillon and Marvin Fishman. Soon afterwards, a fan contest was held to name the new team with over 40,000 fans participating. While the most voted fan entry was the Robins, named for Wisconsin state bird, the contest judges went with the second most popular choice, the Bucks, which was in reference to Wisconsin's official wild animal, the white-tailed deer. One fan, R.D. Treblecox, was awarded a new car for his part in reasoning why the Bucks was a good nickname, saying that the Bucks were spirited, good jumpers, fast and agile. The Bucks marked a return of the NBA to Milwaukee after 13 years. Their previous team, the Hawks, played for 4 seasons in the early 1950s before moving to St. Louis in 55, and now they're based in Atlanta. In October, the Bucks played their first NBA regular season game against the Chicago Bulls before a Milwaukee arena crowd of 8,467. As is typical with expansion teams, the Bucks' first season, 68-69, was a struggle. Their first victory came in their 6th game as the Bucks beat the Detroit Pistons 134-118. They won only 26 more games their first year. The Bucks' record that year earned them a coin flip against their expansion cousins, the Phoenix Suns, to see who could get the first pick in the upcoming draft. It was considered a foregone conclusion that the first pick in the draft would be Lou Alcindor of UCLA. The Bucks won the coin flip but had to win a bidding war with the upstart American Basketball Association to secure him. In 1985, Fitzgerald and his partners, one of which was Stuart Shadell, decided to sell the team. He was having health problems and some of his investors wanted to get out. The Bucks were playing in the smallest arena in the NBA and the city did not want to build a new one. Milwaukee businessman and future U.S. Senator Herb Kohl bought the Bucks after fears that out-of-town investors could buy the team and move it out of Milwaukee, just like with the Hawks. Before the transaction was complete, broadcaster Lloyd Pettit and his wife Jane Bradley Pitt announced they were donating a new arena called the Bradley Center. In 2003, after considering selling the team, Cole announced that he had decided against selling the Bucks to Michael Jordan and would continue to own them, improve them, and commit them to remaining in Wisconsin. On May 21, 2012, the naming rights of the Bradley Center were sold to the BMO Harris Bank division of the Bank of Montreal, which had purchased the assets of M&I Bank a year earlier. After the heirs to the Bradley fortune gave their approval, the arena was renamed the BMO Harris Bradley Center. The struggle years. For most of the 1990s, the Bucks franchise was stuck in mediocrity under coaches Frank Hambleton, Mike Dunleavy, and Chris Ford. They would make the playoffs only 3 times during the 1990s, winning only 1 playoff game. From 1991 until 1998, the Bucks suffered a franchise record 7 straight losing seasons. During this period, the Bucks drafted Glenn Robinson with the first overall pick in the 1994 NBA draft, and in 1996 acquired rookie Ray Allen in a draft day trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Both players would end up playing prominent roles in the Bucks' resurgence during the late 1990s. During the 1998 NBA draft, the Bucks made a trade that would come back to haunt them for years. At the draft, the Bucks selected Dirk Nowitzki as the 9th overall pick, but traded him to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Robert Traylor. Many ranked this as one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history, as Nowitzki would go into a 21-season career with the Mavericks, winning a championship in 2011 while being named Finals MVP in the process, along with winning the NBA MVP award in 2007. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Traylor would just spend 2 seasons with the Bucks before joining the Cleveland Cavaliers. After the franchise's 25th anniversary in 1993, the Bucks overhauled their logo and uniforms. The colors were green, purple, and silver. The old logo, which featured a cartoonish deer, was replaced in favor of a more realistic one. The primary color scheme was altered as well, when the red was replaced by purple. Purple road uniforms replaced the former green away uniforms. In 1997, the Bucks sent all-star forward Vin Baker in a 3-team trade to the Seattle Supersonics, and they would acquire Cleveland Cavaliers guard Terrell Brandon and forward Tyrone Hill. They also traded their 10th overall pick Danny Forston, guard Johnny Newman, and center Joe Wolf to the Denver Nuggets for center Irvin Johnson. The 97-98 Bucks finished their season with a 36-46 record, failing to make the playoffs for the 7th consecutive time. Bad times, however, would not last. Better times. After a decade of dwelling near the bottom of the NBA standings, the Bucks looked to add credibility to their basketball campaigns. In 1998, the team hired veteran coach George Karl, who had reached the NBA Finals with the Seattle Supersonics. Under the leadership of Karl and general manager Ernie Grunfeld, and with the steady addition of talent such as Tim Thomas and Sam Castles, the Bucks developed into an elite team in the Eastern Conference. The nucleus of what is known as the Big Three, consisting of Ray Allen, Castle, and Robinson, along with Karl, created a successful Renaissance era in Milwaukee. The team reached its peak in 2000-2001, winning 52 games and their division title in 15 years. The Bucks then reached the 2001 Eastern Conference Finals by defeating the Charlotte Hornets. They unfortunately lost the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games to the 76ers. During the 2002-03 season, the Bucks traded Ray Allen and backup Ronald Flip Murray to the Seattle Supersonics for Gary Payton and Desmond Mason. The trade allowed emerging star Michael Redd to see increased playing time, and with Payton in the backcourt, they finished the season with a 42-40 record. The Bucks made the playoffs but lost in the first round to the New Jersey Nets in 6 games. That offseason, team leaders Sam Castle and Irvin Johnson were traded to Minnesota for Joe Smith. Payton left via free agency after playing only 28 games for the Bucks. Karl's tenure also ended after the season. Within 1 year period, the team had lost the coach and the players most responsible for the team's success during that era. More great eras were about to follow. The Michael Redd era lasted from 2003 to 2009. That was followed by the Brandon Jennings era from 2009 to 13, and we are currently in the Giannis Antetokounmpo era. Trivia: the Bucks' official mascot is Bango. The word Bango was originally coined by Eddie Doucette, the longtime play-by-play announcer for the Bucks. Doucette used the word whenever a Bucks player connected a long-range basket. It was also often used for sharpshooter John McLaughlin. When it came time for the Bucks to choose a name for their new mascot, the name Bango won the contest. The Bucks have had 21 owners during their existence. The Bucks have had 15 players in their Hall of Fame. These include Oscar Robertson, Dave Cowens, Nate Archibald, Bob Lanier, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Alex English, Moses Malone, Adrian Dantley, Gary Payton, Guy Rogers, Ray Allen, Sidney Moncrief, Jack Sikma, Bob Dandridge, and Tony Kukoc. The only coach in the Hall of Fame was Don Nelson. And that's what we have for you today. Do you have anything to add? Feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Feel free to return for our next offering. Until we see you again, take care.